I'm attorney Erik Hawkins, and I'm here to answer all your California family law questions. Also, this does not constitute legal advice. These are merely my opinions. Okay, with that, let's get started. Today we're talking about legal separations. What is a legal separation, and what's the difference between that and getting divorced? Obviously, legal separations are very popular right now in the news due to the breakup of Anna Faris and her husband, Star-Lord Chris Pratt. What is a legal separation, and what's the difference between that and a divorce? Well, a legal separation is very different, as it is an alternative to divorce. A divorce ends the marital relationship. Legal separation, on the other hand, is a way to keep the marriage intact. However, the couple is no longer together. So why would somebody do this? Well, there are various reasons. It may be rare, but in certain religions, divorce is frowned upon. So it is a way of kind of sidestepping the divorce altogether. Also, there are, not all marriages end poorly. And so a legal separation is a good way to perhaps keep somebody on your health insurance, or it's also a great alternative if there is still hope of reviving the marriage. Legal separation, you've already gone your separate ways, perhaps not permanently, but each party is still protected because the court can make an order for who has what property, who has the children and when, and who's paying support and how much. So there are two types of separation. There's an informal separation where the two parties sit down and draw up an agreement, much like a contract, and that pretty much outlines the rules by which they will play. Who gets the house, who takes the children, what days and when, how much support will be paid. It is perfectly legal for the two parties to draft up an agreement, usually have to have it notarized, and then to operate off of that agreement alone. Now, the other way is an actual legal separation, which must go through the court system. This is very similar to a divorce. You must petition the court. The court will hear the matter and will divide the assets, and you will receive a final judgment. Why is that helpful? Well, let's say things only get worse, and somebody takes something that wasn't assigned to them. Well, now you have an order signed by the court. If you need to call the police, you can get that order enforced. So how do you do a legal separation? Is it like a divorce? Do you need an attorney? Can you do it by yourself? Both a legal separation and a separation agreement can be done just between the parties. Like I said before, legal separation does require the court's involvement, but you don't need to have an attorney. I do recommend that you do consult with an attorney so that you know exactly how this is going to affect you and the lives of those around you. When it comes to doing a separation agreement, I especially would encourage you to consult with an attorney, if nothing else, to review the agreement once you've sat down and finalized it with your significant other. Why is this important? Well, you want this to have the form of a contract, and attorneys know what contracts require to be enforceable. Family law attorneys who have experience with this type of situation may spot holes in your agreement or things that are most likely going to come up once you separate that you haven't thought about or thought maybe wasn't applicable to you. Lastly, it's always a great idea to have an attorney check the agreement for fairness. Unfortunately, sometimes one spouse may try to take advantage of the other, and an attorney might be able to spot this. Now, when you're having an attorney review the agreement for fairness, it is recommended that each party has an attorney so that both sides are represented just for reviewing the document. And once each side okays the document, you go ahead, you sign it, you finalize it. So why get a legal separation? Well, to be honest, they aren't that common. Some people believe that you need to have a legal separation before you can get divorced. That's not true. If you want to get divorced, go ahead and file for divorce. Legal separation and date of separation, which comes up in divorce, are two totally different things. For more on the date of separation, you're going to want to check out Family Code Section 70 here in California. A legal separation can be much quicker than a divorce, and with a legal separation, you have legal protection. So, while you may be wanting to work things out, this is a great way to protect yourself while you do that. Or you learn things that you didn't know while you were married that are not appealing to you, and you're ready to file for divorce. In the meantime, you have orders in place which protect your rights. So really, while a divorce will still take you at least 6 months, a lot of the groundwork and foundation has already been laid. Okay, so that's legal separation. It's really not that complicated, but it's also not very common. Be sure and submit your questions to us. We are here to help you. Some people have a negative connotation about divorce attorneys, but truly we want to get your questions answered. Keep them brief and we will get back to you. So make sure you like and subscribe and keep an eye out for your question, because it may be the one that we answer next.